Hi, this is Lee Solden, second video in a series. I'm going to refer to my first video in the series, which was 73B-1. This is going to be 73B-2. Okay. As far as my system goes, today we're just going to get into the sentence by sentence translations. Okay. Pick up where I left off yesterday, my last video. Sentence 3, just reading the ear tuning syllables. Anong librong gusto mo. The speaker contracts the words libro plus ang to librong. Okay, that's just that person, that speaker doing that. It just doesn't mean anything beyond that. Okay. Sentence 4. The one, yung. So yung can mean the one or that. Earlier I said it meant a. Okay. About, the phrase tungkol sa. Tungkol means about, sa means on. You put them together, they still mean about. Okay. Cars. Cars. Manga coche. Manga is a plural marker. They don't put an S on the end of a word. They put manga in front of a word to show that it's a plural word. So manga coche, the cars. Okay, and that of course is from Spanish coche. They spell it with a TS for the CH sound. Okay. So I'm just going to read the ear tuning syllable exercise. Ear tuning syllables. Yung tungkol sa mga kotse. Okay. And, okay, so you out there should be stopping and doing the read-throughs for sentence 4. Okay, if you just heard what it meant, or maybe you're doing this on your own later, you just read the notes, which are all in the comments of this video. Every video I make will have my transcript basically in the comments. Okay. So read it over, then listen to that sentence 3 times from the audiobook that you're learning while listening to it. And close your eyes, listen 3 more times. Then look over your notes again, and then again, read it 3 times while listening, and close your eyes and listen 3 times. And then again, watch my first video. Don't worry about it. You don't have, this is not studying. You don't keep doing this over and over till you, oh, I'm starting to get it. No, just do it a couple times like that. And then sleep on it tonight. You'll understand it better tomorrow after you let your speech center work on it, okay? So it's on to sentence 5. Sandali lang. Okay, 1 moment, please. Sandali means moment. Lang means just or only. So just a moment. Sandali lang. Okay, and, well, ear tuning syllables. Sandali lang. Okay, so much for that sentence. And, by the way, we're still on story 1, which started at 40 seconds, by the way, on the audiobook. Okay, sentence 6. This says eto ba. Okay, the ear tuning syllables are eto ba. Okay, eto means this, and ba is a question marker. So if you put a ba at the end of what you say, it makes a question out of it. So eto ba, this one. 7, yes, oo. That, iyan. Now, before she said that with iyon, but now the clerk has taken it off the shelf and has it in his hand right next to her. So now she's pointing at it as a closer to her now. So she's going to switch to iyan. So that, nya. Okay, nya is an agreement marker. Okay, so the whole sentence is, this is the ear tuning syllables. Oo, iyan nya. Okay, yes, that. Uh-huh. The agreement marker. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Sentence 8. Here you go. You're all set. Or you're all set. He says, eto, which is this, and then na means now. But it means now as opposed to before. Okay? So he's saying this now. It means that now you're all set. See, as opposed to before you weren't, but if he just handed you what you wanted, you're all set now. Okay? So eto na is the ear tuning syllables. And I got some pronunciation notes. I could just let you read this, but I'm assuming that you might be blind. Maybe you can't read it very easily. So instead, I'm going to read it just in case you have trouble seeing, okay? Okay, gusto is not pronounced quite the same as Spanish. The accent is on the second syllable or evenly. It's not gusto, it's gusto, okay? What else we got here for you? Okay, Tagalog has short and long syllables. The long ones are held longer. Same sound otherwise. Your ear may hear the elongation as stress. I've looked a lot of pronunciation keys on words, and generally they show the syllable that is stressed is also the syllable is held the longest, where the vowel's held the longest. They kind of go hand in hand. Now, in my initial ear tuning syllables, I'm not putting the stress in there. Nor am I putting in how long the syllables are. You're gonna have enough trouble just following those ear tuning syllables as they are. They're a little simplified, right? Later, I'll put more stuff in there, like how long do you hold the O, and do you raise your voice for particular syllables? We'll keep making them more complex on the ear tuning syllables. Right now, the ones you got will work fine for immediately to get you hearing the Filipino reasonably well. Okay. Let's see here. It says I will get around to writing ear tuning syllables for this first story. I've done that already. Okay. Should eliminate that. Okay. TS is pronunciate. So coche sounds just like the Spanish equivalent. Okay. MGA is pronounced manga. It's one of two words that are not phonetic in this language. So there's no reason why MGA should be manga. It's just that's how they spell manga. And same with nang, NG, nang. By the way, nang, and NG in the Pacific, is the marker that's showing that the object of the sentence is coming up. Okay, so they have three parts to a sentence, up to three parts, I should say. They have the subject, who's doing the action, kind of, will be marked by ang. What the object is going to be marked by nang, which is spelled again just ng. And where it's happening will be marked by sa. Okay. See here, NGA, they say sounds like NGA in the phrase sing a song. Sing, sing. So you got that sing, You got that G, you got a little bit of a nasal thing going in there. Sing. So just nya, nya. Okay. Hey, I'm not a Filipino speaker. Listen to how they say it. Okay. Okay. And I tell people, don't go by anything I'm saying. You got to be listening to the audiobook. Okay. You do your read throughs from the audiobook. Your passive listenings to the audiobook. So you're going to end up speaking just like the speaker on the audiobook, not me. You're listening to me just enough to understand the relationship between the English words and the Filipino words. Okay, someone has to do that for you. That you could just loop my video for that and ignore it mostly. And say if you have zero time to learn Filipino, okay, you can still learn it. Kids don't spend any time learning a language. They just have it around them, right? So they're listening all day and they get some amount of uh, feedback, like something said to them. They see what's going on around them, okay? So they associate the words being spoken with what's going on around them. Well, you and I, since we know English, we can just associate the Filipino with the English, right? So you can kind of be like a kid instead of doing any studying at all, even minimal read throughs, even just keep listening to my video over on loop, and in combination with that, be doing the passive listening to the actual audiobook some of the time, right? Of course, you do all your read throughs if you do them from that audiobook, right? And the ear tuning exercises, you pretty much have to do those. You got to spend some time doing the ear tuning exercises. But again, if you're on zero time budget, listening to me repeating them and then listening to them repeated by the native speaker on the actual audiobook you're learning, go back and forth that enough, you probably you can tune in without actually, if you're blind, I'm trying to tell you, you can still tune in to the language. Kids don't learn how to read before they tune into a language, they just keep hearing it, right? So you don't have to use my system exactly as I would use it for a person with sight, okay? If you're blind, or if you just don't got any time, you don't want to even do ear tuning exercises, but you just have to concentrate extra hard on when you hear those phrases, what is exactly being said by me, and then later from the native speaker, okay? So the concentration on the sounds being spoken doesn't have to come from what I show you, okay, on that first video. Let's keep going here. So gusto is a borrowed Spanish word. And you think of it as a verb or a noun like desire. Makita means to look at, to look or to look at, the infinitive form. It's a ma prefix added to the word kita, which means in sight. Okay. Sanang means would, kind of. But you can just think of it as a subjunctive marker. That means you're putting doubt into what will the action happen or not. Okay. Or anyway, for now, just think of it as would if you want to. But it changes I want to I would like. Okay. As in many languages, using the subjunctive on a request is considered more polite. Like I would like to look at a book on that shelf if you would be so kind, if you have time to show it to me. Otherwise, I can get by without it, right? I would like to. Okay. The word po can be added for politeness. It's kind of like sir, but used for anyone of any gender who is older than you or otherwise in a position of respect. It often is said after the first phrase of a sentence. If that sentence is just one short phrase, the po ends up at the end. Gusto can be replaced by the more formal nais. I'm not getting too far into that because it's not actually in the video. Try to keep everything concentrated on what you're actually seeing on the video, okay? Less formal version of one moment please is saglit lang. see, I'm not going to go through all that. You can read it. Oh, no, I'm going to read it in case someone is out there blind. So I'm going to read it here. Sorry about that. Keep forgetting. I got to always read this stuff. Okay, 4 possible politeness levels, kind of. Okay. In other words, you can say stuff with the po or without the po. But then you have formal and informal versions of stuff too. Okay. So you can talk formally, add the po, that'd be the most polite, or you can talk informally, still have the po, or maybe you have the po but you're talking informally, or so there's different levels kind of. But this is how it goes. You choose whether to say po or not depending on the person's age or position of respect. Okay, if they're younger than you leave out the po, for instance. But then the formal, informal, it'll depend on the situation. If you're in a store talking to a customer, that's a formal situation. If that customer is younger than you, wouldn't use the po, right? Okay, eto is the informal version of ito. Just noted that. Oo, yes, can be replaced by tama, which means correct, or many times you're answering a question. Hindi means no, saying that is not it. You'd say hindi iyan, or hindi iyon, something further away. See, accent marks are no longer written in the language of Filipino. See, if I add stress marks to my ear tuning syllables, it'd be the form of a exclamation mark after the syllable. I mentioned that earlier, that often if you hear a vowel elongated, instead of O, you got O, you're all going to hear it as stressed. So you need to actually raise your voice. Keep listening. It's part of, I tell you, when you do your ear tuning exercises, maybe you can follow those ear tuning syllables really well after a while. Keep doing them because you get more and more information from them. The better you are able to keep your eye on the ear tuning syllables as the Filipino is being spoken. See, on connectors, while the next word is always the one being connected, often you can switch those 2 words around and at the same time change which word has the connector, has the suffix, or in the case of na, it just stays in the middle. Example, big dog. Here the ng goes on the big, but you can also switch the words around. Dog, that is big. Now the ng has switched to dog. Okay, the ng or na take on the meaning that is or who is or which is when used this second way. Also, when used like this, na can be used in all cases regardless of what the word ends with. It's an option. You can still use the ng if you choose and if it's appropriate, of course. But note, although you can switch the words around, it's considered more natural in most cases to use the big dog order rather than dog that is big order. Okay. Story 2, the 121 mark. Okay, the ear tuning syllables, I'll read those. I tell people, hey, before you learn anything about story 2, spend some time doing ear tuning exercises. Go back to video 1. I'll explain. They're explained. The first one in this series. Again, that's 73B-1. Okay, here they go. Ano ang orderin mo? Mukhang masarap ang pizza sa palagay ko. Yun ang orderin ko. Ng pizza o kahapon kaya o K, no, kai, kung, hamburger, mu, kang, ma, sarap, si, gay, yun, ang, or, de, rin, ko. Okay, first sentence, ano is what? Okay, next word is the order. Has the word ang there. It's really marking the subject coming up here. But in your mind, if you want to think of ang as is or the to help you understand the sentence, that's fine. But eventually you just see ang going, oh, here comes the subject. Okay. Ordering, that means will order. Explain that later, how that goes. Mo. So what is going to be the order for you? So why is that the subject? Well, it's really, what they're saying is the order for you, that's the subject, is going to be what? Okay, so what it's all about, what you're going to order, right? That's why the ang comes before that. Okay, best way to reading it, ordering for you will be what? Okay. The subject in Filipino is typically found at the end of the sentence. Ear tuning syllables for that are ano, ang, or, de, rin, mo. Okay? And got a little bit about the verb ordering. Okay? Now, the one in the story here, they're using a double O. The guy's not saying o, ord. He's saying or. He's elongating the O a bit. Now, theoretically, you're supposed to say oh, there's two O's there, right? Doesn't mean everybody's going to say two O's. Okay. And so with one O, ordering, I'll say it slower, ordering means to order. Okay. This is called Taglish, Tagalog mixed with English, because it's just the word order in English. But they made a Tagalog verb out of it, a Filipino verb out of it, by putting an in suffix at the end of it. Like take order and put an in, and you got ordering. Okay. Now there are basically four types of verbs in Filipino. Okay. I'm going to quit correcting myself. I'm going to say Tagalog a lot too. I mean Filipino, the Filipino version of it. Okay. There's four types of verbs, and two of them are very, very common. They're the ma and mag. Okay, you put either the ma or mag prefix in front of the base word. Ma means do or make or other things like that. And they're generally what you call actor-based verbs, along with where you use the infix. Okay, so anyway, actor-based. In other words, Jim is going to hit the ball. Okay, what's Jim going to do? Is an actor. He's the person. So the whole verb focuses on the person doing the action. Okay, you have other types of verbs such as this in suffix verb and the I prefix verb, which are object focused. So now we instead of saying Jim is going to hit the ball, we say the ball is going to be hit by Jim. Okay, we focus on the ball. The ball is going to be hit. Here we have an in, so we're talking about what is going to be ordered for you. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. Okay. Okay. Story 10, I'm going to get a little deeper into verbs. For now, notice a few things. The in added as a suffix makes the infinitive for in verbs. Okay, this sentence uses the future tense, which still has the in suffix. That is significant, okay, as you'll see later. Also notice that for the future tense, the O at the front of order gets doubled to O-O-R-D-E-R. Again, you will learn the significance of this later, though the speaker here is just elongating one O rather than saying two separate O's. Okay. You'll be hearing a lot about these. When I say later, it won't be very long, really. I keep going over verbs, stuff about verbs constantly. Okay. 2. Muka is looks, and the ng ending connects it to the next word, which is masarap, okay, which means delicious. So looks delicious. Well, so they got a verb, muka, and using connector, ng connector, so looks delicious. Notice this muka is not conjugated. It's not been made into an infinitive even. It's not part of the conjugation you'll learn. It's just a base word that means looks or appears. Okay, and so you can take that, stick an ng on it, connect it to the next word. So looks delicious. Mukhang masarap. Okay, ang, the pizza. Okay, ang, I say equals the here, but again, ang is actually marking the subject, the phrase with the subject, okay, or just marking the word that is the subject. Okay, so read as the pizza looks delicious, right? So the pizza is really the subject of the sentence, and that's why it has ang before it. Okay. Okay. The ear tuning syllables, mukang, masarap, ang, pizza. That's for sentence 2. Now, every time I get done with a sentence, I'm not going to remind you every time, but you get done with the sentence when you're on your own looking at these notes. Once you look over the notes, you've only started your read through process. Then next thing you got to do is read the sentence 3 times while listening, and just listen 3 times. Look over your notes again. Read it while listening 3 times. Close your eyes. Listen 3 times. Then you go on to the next sentence. Okay, next sentence, number 3. Sa, in, opinion, pala, guy, and it's pala gay. I have a misprint here. Okay, fortunately, I've been through this enough to know I caught my misprint. Pala gay. In my opinion, sa palagay. Ko is the mine. So in my opinion, sa palagay ko. So in my opinion, or could you say that whole phrase, I think, yun is that, it's referring to the pizza. Ang, the order will be for me. Okay, so the order will be for me, orderin ko. Okay, so altogether the sentence is the pizza will be ordered for me. Okay, or I said for me, what will be ordered? That's the subject, is pizza. Okay. In my opinion, that's that phrase is that's an extraneous phrase from base um, the basic structure of the sentence, right? Okay. And read the ear tuning syllables. Sa palagay ko, yun ang orderin ko. A little slower. Sa palagay ko, yun ang orderin ko. Sentence 4. Nag-pizza is had pizza. Ako, I. Kahapon, yesterday. See, the speaker skips the K in ako, and he ends up saying nag-pizza o kahapon. Okay? He contracts ako and kahapon down a bit there to o kahapon. Okay? Stop the read-throughs. Okay, more Tagliacine here. Mag pizza. Well, so mag is do, pizza, do pizza. Let's have pizza, mag pizza. So mag is to make the infinitive, right? This is nag pizza. What happened? Well, mag went to nag. It tells you something. That's a switch. If mag went to nag, then the action started already. That's what it's telling you. Okay, nag pizza. That's past tense. I had pizza, nag pizza. Okay. Let's see here. We'll stop there. I can only make these videos so long. So we got through the equivalent of one full story. It's going a little faster. Only got through half the story the first video. Should speed up as I spend less time in some of this real basic stuff. Okay. Hey, like the video, share it. I'm assuming if you got this far, you liked it. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe to my channel. Remember, if you've seen this one first, watch the first one. Bye-bye.